All right, let's bring in our guest. He's a five-time NBA All-Star, Olympic gold medalist, member of the Basketball Hall of Fame, and a member of the Nike Fun Police. Can't forget about that. His new book, Killer Crossover, My Life from the Chicago Streets to Basketball Royalty, is available November 11th. Responsible for more broken ankles in the 90s than uneven sidewalks, Tim Hardaway. Thanks for being here, man.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me. I'm loving it. Thanks for letting me promote my book.
The book is tremendous. I finished it in one night, and so many good stories. So many good stories. At one, right off the bat, I always wondered about, you're synonymous with number 10. You wore it nearly your entire career, but I didn't know your rookie year you actually tried to get that number 10 from your teammate, the late great Manute Bol. And who knew that he wanted so much money?
Well, you know what? A lot of guys want a lot of money. This is what they tell you at first. They say, "Hey, let me see how much money you really, how much you really want." And he just said, "Yeah, give me your whole check." I was like, "Hold up, you talking about what? My whole check?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, that's all right." I said 500,000. He said, "Yeah, 500,000." I was like, "No, no, no." I told the trainer I take number 5.
Wow. I mean, who would you didn't try to talk him down, or some kind of like, oh, a jersey swap? Like, I'll give you a bike. I'll buy you a bike or
Hey,
steak dinner.
when you saw his face, you could tell that he was dead serious.
Wow.
You know when somebody's serious, when somebody is like, look, that's
Yeah.
how much it's gonna cost, that's how much it is. Take it or leave it.
You can't negotiate with a 7'7" guy. Can't
No,
negotiate. No.
no, 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 no. Somebody my height or maybe 6'5", something like that. But 7'7", no, don't even try it.
Yeah. Oh, those Run TMC Warriors had such an impact on basketball, both from the run and gun Nelly style, also in pop culture. And it's crazy. Everyone always brings up that you only played 2 seasons together. But what was it that the three of you guys, Chris Mullin, Mitch Richmond, that you clicked together so well?
Chemistry, chemistry, basketball IQ. A lot of these guys don't come in with a basketball IQ. All three of us had basketball IQs. All three of us understood what it took to be winners and take our team to that next level. And it started with us first, because we was the catalyst. We was the guys that was portrayed to be all stars and just the captains of the team, basically. And when you got three guys that have basketball IQ and understand exactly what your coach is saying, then you put other guys with Tom Tolbert, Rod Higgins, Mario Elie, those guys, Jim Peterson, a lot of those other guys, or Sharunas Marcellones that had basketball IQ also. It's easy to put a team together. But when you don't have guys with basketball IQ and they think they know the game and they really don't, you got to teach them how to play, and you got to teach them what you're talking about, the philosophy of the game or positioning. Then it's hard.
Yeah, you could tell watching you that you're like a coach on the floor. And even in the book, how you could always, I loved how you talked about how you were always looking for an edge. I loved people see the crossover, but what they didn't know is, I love this, that you were looking at your opponent's feet, which way they were lined up is incredible.
All the time. I mean, that just comes from playing in the streets of Chicago. You got to know who you playing against, how they like to play against people. I use a lot of people's aggressiveness on defense against them. I could be physical on offense, but I knew how to be physical and then come back and be, light on my feet and make plays around them. And that's the way Chicago is. You got to know how to play. You got to know what your opponent wants to do to you and what they try and do to you. You just got to have counters for that.
The one thing though with Run TMC is we never actually saw a rap video, or is there some video that was never released of you guys doing a video? Because I've certainly never seen it.
Now, if you ever heard Chris Mullin sing, You would know why we don't have a rap video.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, he is swagger. He's from St.
Yeah.
John's.
Yeah.
Now I said sing. I didn't say he
Ah,
didn't have swagger. I
okay.
said sing.
Got it.
Singing and having swagger are two different things. He definitely had a lot of swag in his
Yeah.
game.
Well, Tim, if Harry here, again, thank you for joining us here on Still Against All Odds. And I'm wearing UTEP orange for you today, too.
Yes, I see
UTEP
that.
orange.
I appreciate that.
Yes, of course. And, I'm a little older than Joel, and I just want to tell you, too, I know the Splash Brothers and Draymond and everything that went on with the Warriors and the championships. Getting Durant later on as well was huge for the whole community of San Francisco and Oakland of what they did. But I'll tell you what, back in the late 80s and early 90s, again, yeah, what Joel's talking about, Run TMC, it's just amazing watching those games on television growing up when I was in college and high school, and just really appreciate what the three of you guys did. You guys were tremendous. Every night, games were like 135, 132. It was just a lot of fun. And growing up, I just let you know, I was at a basketball camp. You wouldn't tell that I could play basketball by the way I look right now, but I did play basketball. I played 3 sports in high school. Believe it or not, I did.
Okay.
And I was at a basketball camp where Chris Mullen was a guest one time. By the way, I got to play him one-on-one because I had a Syracuse hat on. And obviously, he went to St. John's, so I had a Syracuse hat on. He's like, "Let's go one-on-one." Me and like 150 guys rooting for me against Chris Mullen. And he got the ball first. He didn't even give me the ball first, Tim. He got the ball first. He up to 7. He nailed 7 straight jumpers. I lose 7-0 as a 12-year-old.
Well, you know why? He had the Syracuse hat on.
Right.
And he had many a battles with Syracuse.
Many a battle.
So he's like, you know what? For you to have that Syracuse hat on and you knew I was coming today, that's an assault to my intelligence. So I'm going to pick you out and I'm going to, and not give you the ball. You know,
I didn't give me the ball.
You know,
I'm a lefty like him.
Yeah, but you're supposed to get the ball first because he's a pro. But he wanted to show you that, look, you disrespected me by wearing that.
You should have known better. You should have known better, Harry.
After all those years, 40 years later, Tim, thank you. Now I understand.
Yes, it wasn't you. It was the Syracuse hat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for clearing that up after all these years. So, hey, Tim, I love that in the book that you touch on also what a big part of pop culture you had, from video games to the NBA highlight videos that I wore out as a kid, MTV Rock and Jock, Nike commercials. Did you have like a favorite spot or thing you got to do outside of the game?
You know what? I like spending time with my family, like going to watch movies, going to concerts, plays and stuff like that. You know, playing video games. You know, I wasn't really big on playing video games because we grew up, we didn't have video games. We had that Atari, that one thing that goes back and forth. You had to scroll up and do that and make sure that the ball goes back and forth. We was outside, you know, playing around. We was playing football, baseball, soccer, you know, tennis, riding bikes around, you know, and that's what we was, you know, we was like, we didn't want to stay in the house because it was boring in the house. So we got outside the house and I was used to getting outside, playing basketball, getting outside, you know, going places, seeing things. So I wasn't really big on staying in the house and playing video games.
Right, but I mean, you got to meet Spike Lee. All these incredible commercials. I would in the barbershop with Dennis Rodman, David Robinson, and even
Bourbon.
Yeah, that's right. Even a future president is in one of your Fun Police commercials. I don't even know if you remember that, but yeah, you had such a big part of pop culture too. I think fans should give you more credit. And then your number 10 gets retired in Miami. You're a huge part of Heat culture also. And we've heard legendary stories about Pat Riley. What's it like the first time we've heard about he puts the rings on the table and just how legendary he is? What's it like the first time you go eye to eye with Pat?
My first experience, you know, real experience, I get there is game day. Okay. We didn't have no shoot around or nothing. I had to go in there. Our shoot around, actually, our shoot around was right before the game. I mean, literally right before the game. And we out there, we get there about 4 o'clock, and we running through some plays. And Stan Van Gundy running through plays, and about 5 plays. He goes back in and he says, "What does Tim want to run, or what plays he like, or could he run all the plays?" He said he know all the plays. Pat said, "What?" And Stan Van Gundy said he knows all the plays, all 5 plays in that short of time. So, like I said, I'm basketball. I have basketball IQ. I know how to run a team. I've been a point guard all my life. And, but one thing I like, really, really like about Pat is paying attention to detail. It's always paying attention to detail, always being ready, always understanding what you going up against and being ready against your opponent. And I love that about him. And I stay ready. And no matter what, I love the game of basketball. I study my teammates. I study other teams. I study other players. So if you want to be successful in this game, you got to study and know who you playing against and how they like to play and what they like to do and what they don't like to do, and force them and play them the way that you need to play to win games, especially at crunch time. Because a lot of these guys, they got 1 or 2 moves. They got 1 or 2 moves, and you know which one they like the best if you watch them enough. And and that's what you had to do. You had to know your opponent. And Pat Riley was the same way. He know his team basketball inside and out. He was a very great student of the game, coming from Adolph Rupp, being All American, then going to the Lakers, having the Lakers win a championship, having taking the New York Knicks to a championship, taking the Miami Heat to a championship. But what I liked about him, we was always prepared, we was always ready, and we always wanted to go to battle.
So take me through some of those battles, even earlier in your career. Like I always look at a guy like John Stockton, and you talk about it in the book. He never talked. So what made him so different, and what was like a challenge for a guy like John Stockton?
You couldn't rattle him. You couldn't rattle him. Always even kill. Always played the way he wanted to play, how he wanted to play, and always, even you could be blowing them out by 30 in the second quarter. But you best believe they coming back. They're going to come back slowly, 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 and make a game of it. And that's what they have done. If they get blown out by 40, they'll come back the next night and probably blow somebody else out by 40. But he always was an even keel. He was always competitive. He always played the same way, and you couldn't rattle him. You could not, whatever you tried to do, you could not rattle him. All right. Kevin Johnson. Oh my God. I mean, just a beast, a warrior. Gary Payton, another warrior. And a lot of people don't give who's that? Kevin Johnson and Rod Strickland credit. Man, and Mark Price, they was beasts, man. They was beasts. I mean, if you're going against them, you had to put on your big boy shorts and tie them up real tight and put on your nice gym shoes that you're gonna wear and have them where you're gonna be able to not sustain a hurt ankle like you had to do against me and come out and play.
Yeah, which is interesting because those guys didn't wear big boy shorts; they had the little boy shorts. So
I'm gonna say this: we all had little boy shorts.
But you could pull it off. You could pull it off.
Yeah.
I just wore big boy shorts.
Yeah, fair. I always think like now the game is so international. If you would have had to learn a different language to talk trash, or if you ever actually learned a couple words to talk trash to any of the international players, because you had Marsha Lunas on your team, and it had started, and you were in the Olympics.
Yeah, Marsha Lunas, great ball player, well deserved getting into the Basketball Hall of Fame because what he did for his country and what he did for his teams over there was remarkable. That's why he was able to come over here and play and have a nice career until he got hurt. But I tell you this, that guy Sabonis, the first Sabonis, Arvidas. Woo, man, we called him after he got hurt, after he tore his Achilles. But if we would have got him here before he tore his Achilles and was able to play the way we saw him play in the Olympics or over in the World Cup when he was playing for his team, man, it would have been different. He wouldn't have been, he could bring up the ball just like Jokic. He could handle the ball just like Jokic. He could pass the ball, of course, just like Jokic, and could shoot. So we caught him on the tail end, and when he was hurt. But if we would have caught him, when he was 100% and healthy, we would have saw a different type of animal there.
Yeah. Well, Harry.
I was just going to ask real quick, Tim. Speaking of international players, right now in today's game, what do you think of Victor Wembanyama? What he's done already, but this year already. I know the season's only 3-4 games in, but it's almost like, Tim, if he has 5 blocks and 3 steals in the game, that's almost not good enough because of what he's been able to do so far. This team looks really good as a unit, not just him. He's pulling up from the logo and nailing threes after blocking 2 shots. I mean, what's the limit for this guy?
The sky's the limit for him. He's going to only get better as he gets stronger.
Yeah. You think he needs to put a little bit more weight on?
No, you know what? I don't think his body frame is going to let him put bulk on. I think he's going to get stronger and just to get stronger, but bulk and his body frame to get bulkier and you want him to have muscles out here. No, that's not him. If he gets like Giannis, I think that that'd be too big for him. I think his body frame is Kevin Garnett or Kevin Durant.
Gotcha.
I think that's his body frame. He's gonna be doing just fine. He just got to stop. I just hope he don't be stepping on people's feet. That's what he got. Twisting his ankle and stuff like that because he's 7'5". But what he's doing right now. Yeah. What he's doing right now. I mean, how he put it between his legs, and put behind his back and step back 3 and 1. I mean, guards only do that. You only see guards do that. But he stepped his game up and he feels comfortable. I think the first 2 years he was still trying to fill out the NBA. What they gonna do to him? What the physicality was? 82 games.
Right.
How to, what I need to do to get my rest, how much rest I need, all that type of stuff. But I think, this long layoff for him, he figured out a lot. And I think that it helped him out mentally. And that's why he's able to come right now. And hopefully he stays healthy, man. If he stays healthy, I'm going to tell you this. If he stays healthy, he can win Defensive Player of the Year. He can win Most Valuable Player of the Year, and he can win Most Improved Player of the Year, something that's never been done. He can do all that.
You know what, Tim? I was just going to ask you that. You read my mind because Still Against All Odds the other day, I said because he's the favorite. He's minus 200 to be Defensive Player of the Year. I think that should be minus 2,000. You can lock that down. But you think right now, if he stays healthy and this team continues to play well and win, make the playoffs, he can be MVP this year?
Yeah, he could be MVP this year. The numbers he's putting up, he could be MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and what's the Comeback Player of the Year.
Wow.
He could be all 3 of those. I'm telling you, man, how he's doing it and the way he's doing it. He looks good, man. He looks really, really good. And
really
don't
does.
Give me, all that, 200 to 1 and minus 200. Don't get me into that. I don't talk about nothing like that. Only thing I talk about is if
he could do it or not.
Yeah, if he could do it or not. Yes.
Right.
Well, I know the season's just getting started and how closely you follow it. Your son is on the Nuggets. Give us your way too early prediction for the finals. Way too early prediction? Give us your, who you think could could meet up in the NBA Finals?
Oh man, you know who I think could meet up if they stay healthy. OKC again, if they stay healthy, you know.
Don't you like how Denver got some depth this year, Tim?
Denver got depth, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. You got to be lucky to win a championship. You got to be lucky. You know, Aaron Gordon. Now, if he wasn't hurt, Game 7, with a hamstring, who knows? Who knows
or if Steph and the Warriors were
not because Steph didn't even make it. They didn't even go that far. I'm just saying OKC play.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the finals, I think Hallenberg was gonna have a epic game. He was looking like he was about to, have 30 and 20. And 5 steals. That's how he was looking in the beginning of the game. He was like, I'm putting these guys on my back. Let's go. Let's win this. Let's win this thing. So, and then he got hurt. So yeah, like I said, you always got to be lucky to win a championship. And that's the two plays I saw, or players that I saw, that if they was healthy, you never know. You never know. So OKC is one. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get. I think everybody expecting, if they stay healthy, New York Knicks.
I like it. As hard as it would be for you to say that, I think. I like that. I like that. It is interesting reading your book. You've played in so many big games, the Heat-Knicks rivalry, the Olympics, All-Star games, even the highest scoring game in regulation in NBA history. When you look back at this basketball life, this amazing basketball life, even if it was a game on the streets of Chicago, what is the best game Tim Hardaway ever played in?
Man, the best game I ever played in, all right, it was a pro-am game. I'm in college. It's me, Nick Anderson, Alfredrick Hughes, his brother, Donald Reese on my team against Michael Jordan, Craig Hodges, Terry Cummings, and some other guys on their team. And they brought in Terry Cummings and Craig Hodges. I mean, not Craig Hodges, but Terry Cummings and Michael Jordan, because they know they was going to lose. So,
how old were you?
I mean, I had to be 18.
Wow.
Going to my junior year, and my buddy was like, he was on the other team. Yeah, y'all in trouble. MJ on his way. I'm like, so who's MJ? He's like, MJ. I said, man, MJ haven't showed up in 3 years. We've been waiting on MJ for 3 years, man. MJ ain't gonna show up. So I said, and if he does show up, we're gonna kill y'all anyway. We're gonna beat y'all with MJ. Now what? All right, I'm gonna let him. I said, you can let him know that. Tell him, take a picture of it, write it down. I don't care. And so we playing against them, and we lose in double overtime. MJ's supposed to have fouled out about 2 or 3 times, but it's a pro-am. You can't let them foul out, But it was good for the audience. It's good for the fans. It's free to come in and everything. So after the game, MJ had about 65. I had about 62. And after the game,
wow.
MJ walked up to me and shook my hand. And he said, you know what? You got a chance. When he said that, I was like, okay. All right.
That's all it took.
That's all it took. I kicked you know how you say that the door opens up an inch and you kick it in? Yeah, that door opened up the inch and I kicked it in. When he told me that, I was like, oh, I was oozing with confidence then. Oozing with confidence.
Crazy. And then
right.
You go on and face him in the pros. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I shouldn't have inspired this guy to come.
Oh no, he should have. He did the right thing. He knew what I was about. He saw the fire in my eyes. He saw the confidence in me and stuff. So, you tell guys like that. You tell young guys like that, hey, you got a chance, man. Keep your head together. Make sure you stay on the right path. And that's what I did.
Nice. It's funny you mentioned you in college. I was watching your highlights, and you did this interview in 1988, and you talk about how important it is to you to get your degree in criminal justice. And if you didn't make the NBA, do you remember what you said you might try to become?
Yeah, probation officer.
Close. You said FBI agent.
Oh, FBI agent. Yeah.
Which I think you would be incredible at, because nobody who's better at interrogating than Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, coming from my background of playing basketball, you know you did it. Tell me what you going. How you did it. Tell me what. Tell you, we got you already.
I'm already ready to. I'm squealing already. Hey, before you go, we got one last question. It's called "Question from a Buddy." I text one of my friends, ask them what they would want to ask Tim Hardaway, and my buddy Justin Siegel. This is what he wants to know: how did Tim come up with the UTEP Two Step?
Everybody wanted to know. And I tell everybody the same thing. So check this out. So I don't know how I came up with it, but we had this basement. Basement was probably what? I don't know. You know, it's a regular basement. Not even half court, maybe 3/4 court of a court. You know, that not that big, not that wide, but it was an 8 foot, ceiling and everything. And we had two beams like 6 feet apart from each other. And then it was the walls. So I used to like hit it off the wall and come down in the beam and then do a move. Like
Wow.
I'm just doing moves. And I'm thinking of who was in front of me to play, somebody out in the park that I want to go against, somebody at a different school that I want to go against, somebody that I want to kill every day out there on the court each and every day. And that's what I did. I went out there I mean, downstairs in the basement because it was cold. From Chicago, you cold. You don't have no you can't ride your bike nowhere. It's 5 below. It's 1 below outside. It's a Saturday night, Friday night. There's nothing to do. So I'm downstairs in the basement and I'm full out sweat. I'm coming upstairs. My mom was like, "Wow, you in a full out sweat." I was like, "Yeah, I was down there hooping. You should have saw me." And I'm just laying it up, not really laying it up, just jumping up, touching it, and then I'm getting it out, and I'm fast breaking it off the other wall, and I'm just doing stuff like that, like resembling a game in my mind. So when these kids tell me they insult my intelligence when they say, "Yeah, I can't go out here and practice. I can't go out here and work on my game by myself." I'm looking at them. You don't want to work on your game by yourself. You don't have no imagination how to work on the game by yourself. And when I tell them these things, then when I get on the full court, by myself, like if I'm at a gym by myself and it's an hour before somebody come, before we start playing, I might be in a full out sweat. But I run up when I was in high school or college, I used to be just doing stuff by myself, coming down and on a full court, on a basketball court, just doing stuff like I was doing in the basement. So yeah, like I said, I don't know where it came from. It could have came from that. I just knew I had a move, or I had some moves to get past somebody, because in Chicago, you can't shoot the ball all the time because it's called a windy city.
I love it.
You shoot the ball, the wind might take it.
Right.
So, yeah.
And anybody that grew up, playing basketball, even like Nerf basketball in the basement, if there was a beam, that beam was a defender. So
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Tim, I grew up in Pittsburgh, and we didn't have an NBA team, so we rooted for players. And I got to see you play in Cleveland, and I think I was like 13 at the time. I came early for shoot around. I wanted to get your autograph, and you were focused. You were doing your routine, and you said, after the game, I got you. I got to focus. I'm gonna bust these guys' ass. The game went to double overtime. Warriors lost. I don't know if you remember, but you did drop like 35. And here it is after the game. Look at that.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
No, that's
man
nice.
Of his word.
That's nice.
Nice, guys. Nice.
I'm a man. I try to be a man of my word. Even though we lost, even though I was upset, I still signed your autograph because I told you that's what I was going to do. I try to be a man of my word.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you've inspired a lot of basketball players. You also and did a lot for the game. And I'm so glad you're in the Hall of Fame. And Harry, you learned your lesson. You can't wear rival.
Oh no, you can't. You can't wear a rival hat to somebody that that they played against and all that. But just go get the book. It definitely explains, how I grew up, what made Tim Hardaway tick. Why did Tim Hardaway have the crossover? Why Tim Hardaway come from the city of Chicago and played at this magnitude, and about my family when I was growing up with my parents, and then the family I'm bringing up now, me and my wife, with my son being in the NBA. It's a really good book, and it's going to inspire, and it's going to teach parents and a lot of kids lessons.
It really is. It's a great read.
Stuff.
Great read. Killer crossover of my life from the Chicago streets to basketball royalty. It's available November 11th. You can actually pre-order it now, which I recommend you do. Tim, hey, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Tim.